also want to eventually do like a Q&A, so if you have any Qs, drop them in the comment and I will A them. Hi friends, I'm Caeli. Welcome to Wildcard Wednesday. Today I am doing a mukbang because I want to. And Wildcard Wednesday is when I do what I want. I know mukbangs were a fad a long time ago, but I was a YouTube fan before I started trying to make videos on YouTube, and I always saw them and I'm like, that's what I want to do when I'm on YouTube. I just want to get a bunch of food and eat it. And also, I hope that you like it because it's something, these kind of videos I always enjoy watching, and I don't know if it's because I feel like I'm having a conversation with my friends, and like that is something that is sorely needed right now because of our dear sponsor, Corona. So here we have ordered some lovely dim sum, hashtag eat local, support local, and I'm very excited to dish into it. Although, I want to say a disclaimer, I'm going to look like a total noob because I don't have chopsticks right now. I erroneously assumed that they were going to include some in my order, and right now I am quarantined with my white family and we don't keep any chopsticks in the house, so now you're going to see me do sacrilege with a fork and spoon. Sorry about it. By the way, if you don't know, I am an old person. I'm allowed to drink alcohol. I don't know if you were wondering, but this is legal. I don't do it often enough that this is going to be smooth, but here you go. It's Corona time. It's apparently a TikTok that is popular with the youths of today. So, and I also got a beautiful whoops, doing well. Clearly I am an expert at alcohol. My second drink, because you need to, is Earl Matcha Latte with cream, the cheese. It's a cheese. It's a cheese boba. There's like cream cheese on the top. I've heard of these kinds of things at like trendy places, and I didn't think my podunk little town would have cheese boba, so I'm interested in trying it out. I've never had it before. It's so good. I'm gonna pretend that I'm like fancy and know what I'm talking about. The QQ of the boba is perfect. I don't know if it's a noun or it's an adjective. But apparently QQ means that perfect chewy bouncy texture. Also, I'm going to be talking about other things. This is not going to be just about food, but I'm very excited for this food, so here we are. We have some basic Kung Pao chicken, and then this is a soup dumpling, apparently. I've never had them. They're supposed to be very, like, there's literal soup in them, although these don't feel very squish, so we'll see. There's an assortment of dip. There's some rice. Yum, yum, yum. And this is hot and sour soup, and these are veggie rolls, veggie spring rolls, or veggie rolls and spring rolls different? Let me know in the comments down below. Oh, hello. This is Jenny Marley, the pup of my heart. She likes to smell things, but we aren't feeding her this food, unfortunately. And this is Pio, the other pup of my parents. Let's try it, see if it's good. No. And the last thing I'm sampling, the scallion pancake. Wow. Basically, I wanted to have a chat about my channel in general. I, like many of your friends, have joined into the YouTube thing once the quarantine started. I saw a whole lot of my friends posting a song of the day or this or that, but it was less about seeing those than about seeing a really interesting passion project that one of my friends headed up. My friend Kate McKeown is co-founder of a pirate radio station called Quarantine FM. They broadcast from Dublin, and it was just like a crazy idea that they cooked up like a bunch of out-of-work actors, get together, and they broadcast 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and they have like really great content. It's not just them popping on and being like, here's the next song, here's the next song. They have interviews with creatives, they have Irish stories, they have book of the week, they have recommendations for like what you can do on your quarantine, cool things to watch. They have up and coming artists, singers, songwriters, things like that. And it was so cool, and I was so proud of her for doing this, and I loved to hear a friend's voice, and it made me think, if this cheers me so much to just hear a familiar voice and hear a positive attitude, like maybe I can offer what little comfort I have to people, and then also just to mostly for myself. It's a selfish project. It's to re-examine the way that I talk to myself and about myself, the way I think about myself in a more positive light. The channels that I'm interested on YouTube are very much like this, like a sit and chat and be with your friends. And so that's a little bit the standard I wanted to keep, of something casual and something cheerful. I've mentioned in the other videos before a little bit some of my background. I had an undergraduate degree in drama with a concentration in classical voice. And then I went on for a master's degree in musical theater in the UK, and I worked in New York for a little bit. And so I had reached a point where I've seen a lot of the people that I've worked with performing at a very high level and like succeeding in all these different things. I'm starstruck by my friends. I'm like so happy for them. I have a friend who's in the UK tour of Phantom. I have a friend who's on Les Mis on the West End. I have a friend who's on the national tour of Wicked. And it's so wild. It's so cool. And I don't have credits like that yet. But I've done some really cool stuff. But I felt like I can't share anything that I'm doing unless it meets some sort of imaginary standard that I have for myself. That because I have these degrees or this whatever on my CV, that I can only put out something that's at a certain level. And it was a lot of self-censorship, I sabotage myself, and I get frozen thinking like, oh, I might as well not even try to put something out or record something because I don't have a proper mic with me right now. I don't have a live accompanist. I don't have a company myself, or it's not going to be that good if I haven't worked with a voice teacher. With this whole experience that we're all going through, it kind of made me rethink my priorities, and I got to the point where I was like, no, that's stupid. Like, what I love to do is perform and create. You notice that every video I say, be kind to yourself, be brave, and create anyway. And I think that's something that I want to give out to the world because it's something that I really need to hear myself. So the first videos that I filmed were the videos that I made for the COVID-19 concert, and that's Part of Your World and Not a Day Goes By. And I posted them at a different time because I later conceived of making the whole themed day videos. At the beginning of filming those videos, it was about as stressful as most of my self-tapes are, where I'm like stopping and starting and feeling very frustrated with myself. But as I got into making more videos, I kind of got into feeling like, okay, I made a mistake, like blah, 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 shake it off and keep going and keep going. And it made me have a better end result and a better sense of myself and a better opinion of myself and how I'm doing and how to deal with failure. So I think that's been really positive for me and something that I'm really glad that I got out of these videos. As I've said before, it's pretty selfish reason, but I do hope that, you know, the few people who do end up watching this find some joy and maybe find some inspiration to be creative as well. As you know, each day is themed. Originally I was only going to do like, you know, 3 or 4 days a week, and then I was coming up with ideas for each day and thought, why not just try it and see how it goes. I'm gonna try and see if I can get the hashtag going, like hashtag Daily Caeli or hashtag still a thing. Motivation Monday is especially inspired by our current situation right now, but really every day, where we all need a reason to smile. Tuesday is technique. It's mostly so that I can review what I've learned about technique and I can re-articulate those ideas to deepen my understanding, to clarify my understanding. Wildcard Wednesdays, here we are. It's whatever I want, which is sometimes random stuff like this, chats like this, and sometimes a lot of like big dramatic depressing songs because that's my jam. I also want to eventually do like a Q&A, so if you have any Qs, drop them in the comment and I will A them. I'm so cool. Of course, you have Throwback Thursday, which is a little bit of a cheat, where I could post content but give myself a little bit of a break because it's content that is already recorded from my past performances. And eventually those are going to run out, and I'm going to have to either perform songs from shows that I've been in that have not been recorded, or just start performing very old songs as a throwback. So who knows? We'll see. Maybe we'll do like some showboat. I don't know. I think eventually I do want to approach Throwback Thursdays from less of like a lazy standpoint and more of what can I learn from this performance. It would be a good exercise, I think, to articulate those things in the spirit of constantly bettering myself. So Foreign Fridays are one of the first ideas that I had for a channel, which I'm not trying to emphasize the foreignness of it, the differentness. I could say International Fridays, but just to use the alliteration. But that's the first idea I thought of because I was really weird growing up, and like on top of being a musical theater nerd, I was a German language musical theater nerd. So like the few friends that I had that were like, oh yeah, Wicked, oh Phantom of the Opera, really cool, Rent, blah 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 blah, and I was like, how about Elizabeth? I had painted myself in a very niche place. Also, I studied French, a little bit of German, and a little bit of Italian, Latin, and ancient Greek. So when imagining like the sorts of content that I would want to create, I definitely always thought I would want to work on these songs of different languages, and I know that I only posted Spanish so far. That wasn't originally the plan, but obviously I'm biased towards Spanish because I married a Mexican. I'm desperately trying to learn Spanish because we live in Mexico City, and it helps to know Spanish. So Sondheim Saturday, obviously. Sondheim is fabulous enough that he gets a whole day dedicated to him, which is a joy and also a challenge because his songs are not the easiest to sing, but so satisfying as an actor to work on, because there's so much depth there that is just really fun to dig into. Show Tunify Sunday, it seems like a cool idea. I'm be real with y'all, that's become the hardest for me. It was one of the ones I had been toying around with for a while before deciding to make my channel, is the idea of kind of like lampooning show tunes and like a show tuney performance by putting familiar like pop songs into a show tune style. The problem is I don't have the capabilities right now to either like make my own backing tracks or edit backing tracks that I have to make them into a more musical theater style. So unless I do some sort of a cappella type thing, which is an option, or if I find someone who's willing to collab on this to help me out and make them, because I feel like the music of it is a large part of what sets the tone. It's not just the performance of it. My first Show Tunify Sunday is kind of like in the style of contemporary musical theater, where it doesn't sound very showy, but it's performed like a monologue. I'm not 100% sure what to do with those, so I'm gonna keep trying, I'm gonna keep trucking on. But if you have any ideas, if you are a composer or an instrumentalist that would like to collab on making the Show Tunify things, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. That's a basic rundown of why I made my channel, what inspired me. If you have any requests about what songs you want to hear for any of the categories, now that you know and understand them, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking for new ideas. Thanks for having lunch with me. So I know I still have food to eat, so maybe this is bad luck, or not really, because I think fortune cookies are just an Americanism, but I'm going to share this with you before I leave. Have a beautiful day. That's not a fortune. What? I'm opening my husband's as well to see if he doesn't have a death. And then I get both fortunes. I can crack it with one hand like an expert chef cracks an egg. Ooh, look at that skill. You will maintain good health and enjoy life. See, that's a fortune. That's a fortune, and that is a fortune for these times. So I'll drink to that. I hope you have a good day. I hope you maintain good health and enjoy life. And I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, share it with your friends who also like musical theater or singing or YouTube or food or joy or anything. Share it with your friends and let them know. Thanks so much for watching. As always, be kind to yourself, be brave, and create anyway.